You get a group of people together, designers, actors, and you create a piece of art that is living and breathing for just a nanosecond in time.
It's something that you never see. You don't go to Broadway and see people be zombies and like eat humans on stage.
Shakespeare, the Renaissance, the plague.
And it's in such a unique place that you don't ever see zombies back in Elizabethan England. And how do you kill a zombie in Elizabethan England?
And that is just something that MSU and other theater companies, they just don't do very often.
Who doesn't want to see what that was like? It sounds awesome, right?
Well, I became a fight director because I originally started as an actor, and I took stage combat classes as part of my actor training, and then I went to work professionally in Chicago for a while. And this happens a lot, where I was in a show as an actor that had violence in it, and they hadn't hired a fight director. I didn't want to see somebody actually hit somebody, and I was like, you know, you can do it like this. I've seen this done before. And eventually, de facto became the fight director and started choreographing, and discovered I love choreographing. Then I discovered I love teaching stage combat so much. I love showing actors that they can do things with their body that they didn't know they can do. And I love that.
I became a designer because I really like art. I've always been into like movies and plays and stuff, just because it fascinated me to take you to a world that's not real, but it seemed real. So I wanted to be involved in it. And then once I got to MSU and I started taking classes for like costume and makeup, I really liked them a little bit more than my acting classes. And so I decided to go deeper into them. And when we learned special effects makeup, it was like, oh, this is what I draw like. I love it. So I just ran with it.
I now begin to see where you draw your inspiration. Master Ken.
I was the zombie guy. I was the one who was in charge of helping the actors pick out a particular zombie that they liked. You know, what kind of zombie are we going for in the show? We want to have a sense of uniformity with the zombies. So I interacted with Christina in that part, and then as fight captain, I was interacting a lot with Zev, going over fights, making sure, make sure this person remembers to do this, make sure Andy doesn't cut open Summer, so stuff like that. Just. So that was actually a lot of fun, was meeting with the actors and having these zombie workshops and helping them create these fully fledged characters that are usually just background actors. We wanted to make them feel more involved, to give them specific backstories. You know, if they were at the bar, they had drunk zombie. You know, so I really liked being able to work around with that, because you don't get to see any of that kind of stuff. And nobody's going to know exactly what the zombie on stage backstory was, but as an actor, I know it helps a lot. It really does. But I also really enjoyed acting. I loved every single one of our cast members. It was the first time where I've ever connected so well with an entire cast. So that was really nice, seeing everybody's choices that they made, the whole process of itself between, is it a drama? Is it a comedy? So just the evolutionary process of the acting was the best. I really, really like that.
a lot of times you can find the most brilliant happy accidents. So, for instance, the moment in the finale, I was like, can this happen? Because it's just in my head. I can't get it out of my head. If Queen Elizabeth is going to turn into a zombie, I think we have to kill her epically, because she's like one of the greatest monarchs, most recognized monarchs of all time. So I told them my idea, and they were kind of like, yeah, okay. And so the happy accident happened. I was literally at a garage sale this summer, and there was an air cannon for $15. And it was literally like the universe just went, here you go. So then I came in the first day of classes to Mark, and I was like, hi. And then he got really excited. So you just kind of try a lot of different things, yeah? I like to think you just kind of take some stuff, some paint, and throw it on the wall and see what sticks. A lot of it's going to run down and hit the floor. A lot of it's going to bounce off. But the stuff that sticks is usually pretty awesome.
There's just such a big difference where it's like two different people. It's like the acting people who like care for the spotlight, like to be noticed, being on stage, like having everyone talk about them, being the center of attention. Whereas like tech people and stage managers just like get the job done and make things run smoothly.
Designing is a lot more hands-on work, but you're also doing a lot of it on your own. And they're not necessarily there with you for all of the steps with the table work while you're coming up with the designs. You come to the meetings and you're supposed to have things ready.
It really helps, I think, for any designer to also be an actor. And I think it helps every actor to be a designer. When you spend too much time on one side of that table, you lose sight of all of the work that the other one does and all the things that are on their mind. And you start to get into a perspective where, for example, all the actors that are on stage right now using set pieces and props that they've never used before, but they've been practicing with something different, the new prop is now an obstacle for them, rather than an enhancement to their storytelling. And so by being able to be both, it just helps so much, because the actors have no idea how much stuff is going on up in the booths right now and how many conversations are happening over the headset, all these tons of enormous detail that they're working out because they want the show to be awesome. And the actors, meanwhile, are just standing there in place waiting till they can go on to their next thing.
Without a stage manager, the show wouldn't go on because nobody knows what to do unless I tell them what to do. But there's just like huge difference because like they do a lot of work. Like I could never. Like they sit down and like analyze the script and like, oh, my character would be doing this at this time, and it's just like, I don't know how they do it.
I try to take in as many ideas as I can. So a lot of things that are happening in their show are completely actor motivated. Some moments that we found in rehearsal. And then there's a lot of things that are also design elements where I kind of shot for the moon for what I wanted, and they brought me a lot of it. So it's very exciting.
Oftentimes, people underestimate what we do because they don't see us on stage. So it's like, oh, those are the people who wear black all the time and just walk around. Like the set is huge. Like somebody thought of making that and he designed it with like little pieces of styrofoam before it became a real thing. And the people in the shop made that happen. And all of the costumes and all of the sound effects, like those were all found online or made. And then like all of the lights and everything. It gets underestimated, which I think is upsetting because we do so much.
But we have amazing designers here, design program and students.
I wanted to be able to help create this awesome world. Take this play and figure it out, especially since this is a play that hasn't really been done before. We didn't have a lot to go on.
None of us knew what we were doing. We made a huge mess, and in the end, it was totally worth it.
this is the show we're doing. Everyone here knows we're in a theater. Everyone here knows this is fake. We're never gonna forget that. We're not even trying to hide our tricks anymore. Like,
You come in, you have your concept, and you say, I want it to look like this, but when it actually ends up looking the way you want it to, that is an amazing feeling.
So everyone has all of these ideas and they come together and they live and they breathe and they touch the human spirit. We create this piece of art that can only live and breathe for that moment of time, and it will never be created again, ever. This play will be done by other theaters and other actors and other directors and designers, but it will never ever be the same. So we all come together and create this thing that is unique and alive.